Okay, so what's up, everyone? Some of you guys already know me, some of you guys don't. I'm making this video so just to introduce myself basically and tell you guys a little bit about my life, because I've been making all these videos and about my plants and me being sober and telling you guys a little bit about my life, but I haven't literally sat down and told you, like, we're gonna do we're gonna start from basically beginning to the end. We're gonna start from the time I was born, not to the end, but beginning to where I'm at now. Alright, so basically my life story starts when I was little. I was born, and 6 months after I was born, my real mother, my biological mother, passed away in a car accident that I was involved in too. I was in the car accident. My grandmother from my dad's side was in the car accident. She died. There was a few of us in the car accident. It was me, like 3 of my uncles, 1 of my aunts, my dad, my mom, and my grandmother were all in the same car. So in the same accident, my mother and my grandmother passed away. That's on my dad's side. My grandmother from my dad's side. So I was born on May 17, 1993. My mother passed away January 4th of 1994. And so my dad was going through shit, and well, I call her mom now, but she's my aunt, my biological mom's sister, which is my aunt. She took custody of me. My dad was going through shit. My dad didn't, I guess, necessarily agree with that. He wanted to get custody of me, and so I really don't know the whole story of it. This is as much as I know. I was kidnapped by my dad for a few days. I was found like after like 4 or 5 days, and then that's as far as I know, because I read the police report. It's on the police. I seen the police report, But yeah, so I was found like after 4 or 5. I think after like the 4th or 5th day by FBI. After FBI got involved. But yeah, so my dad went to prison for like 9-10 years. I was raised by my aunt and my grandmother from my mom's side. So I lived with them my whole life. We lived in the same, not in this apartment, but in the same apartment complex, but downstairs when I was younger and I got kidnapped. Yeah. But then we moved out of here, moved to another house down the street. We moved around for a little bit, bounced around, and we stayed at one of my uncle's house that we were renting out down the street for a few years. I was going to school, but I was starting to ditch, and then I started drinking like at 11. Not heavily drinking, but I tried drinking at 11, and I started drinking like whenever we had parties. I would jack like 2 or 3 beers and go drink them and catch a buzz, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then once I turned 12, I started going to high school. I think it was right before I was about to start going to high school. Actually, I started smoking weed. I fucking fell in love with it, bro. That was the best fucking feeling I've ever had in my entire life, bro. And then I started fucking like a year after that. After I started smoking weed, I started doing heavy drugs. I started doing G, which is methamphetamine. And then after that, I started doing pills as well. For a few years, kept getting locked up on probation. Never could finish probation. I was always in and out of fucking detention center. Went to juvenile prison for a year. Got out like 3 months before I turned 18. Yeah, that's good. That's how my whole time from the time I started using drugs, just drugs, in and out of jail, dude. I never lasted no more than 2 months out of jail before I would go back for like anywhere between 3 and 5 months, 6 months, whatever they wanted to give me for fucking not doing my probation or whatever the fuck they would give me, you know. I was bad on the drugs, bro. I would get out and I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just go back and do it, smoke it, do whatever the fuck. I would get back right onto it. But yeah, so when I turned 18, because my mother passed away, I ended up getting some money. I fucked all that shit off, bro. On everything, I fucked it off on so many shit. But yeah, I went to prison for DUIs. Got out. Then 2 months later, went back to prison for possession of dangerous drugs. Got out. I went in for 2 years. Got out that time. Lasted 4 months out. Went back for 2.5 years for another possession of dangerous drug. Got out after doing those 2.5 years, and then went back for 5 years for possession of a firearm, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and then what else? And then once I was in jail, on the day of my sentencing, I was gonna get sentenced to 5 years for they only wanted to hit me with the possession of the firearm. After that, like the day of my sentencing, they fucking page 2'd me because a few months back I did some shit and I ended up getting page 2'd for burglary. So because of that burglary charge, they gave me 6 years, but ran consecutive. And I did 6 years for all that, and I just got out 2 years ago. Got out, bro. I got a job in construction. I was doing good until my boss, the foreman, he told me to get on the truck because we were supposed to drive around to go fucking to the tractor. And he literally busted us out of sack, bro. And he busted out a G-sack and starts telling me if I want to do lines, and he started doing lines in front of me and this and that. And honest to God, karma's a bitch, bro. Cause I ended up doing that shit with him that day, and then I started doing coke and G again, and then fucking started fucking around. I fucking ended up finding out that my wife was pregnant with my son. I kept fucking around, working for a little bit, and then I got sick, quit my job, started fucking getting high and doing straight bum shit, bro. Like, I had my truck, but I'll go around picking up fucking scrap metal, fucking picking up pallets to go and sell them, doing like my own little hustle. It was not bum shit. I can't say it's bum shit because I was hustling, homie, and a lot of people hustle, you know. It's a hard ass hustle, but I was doing it more to get. I call it a bum shit because what I was doing it for. We'll just put it like that. I was doing it so I could get the money to get high. You know what I mean? We had our own apartment, and my wife was getting food stamps, so we were living off of food stamps. And I was making some of them rent money, and I would help the landlord for other parts of the rent money and shit like that. But mostly every day I would fucking work to get high. My son was born, and literally, I was getting high still, bro, and I was trying to stop. I was trying to, but I don't know. And I was on the run actually because I was on parole. I just got out of prison, so I was on parole. And so my son was born. 3 days after my son was born, I I ended up getting caught. I went back to Alhambra, which is the state prison where you go into when you're on parole. I went back to prison. That's where they go and check you in, and you go back to prison to finish the rest of your time. I went back to Alhambra. My wife was in the hospital with my son because he was in the NICU for like 10 days, and I felt like a total piece of shit, bro. I don't need to hear it from you guys too, dude. But yeah, I felt like a piece of shit, dude, for fucking straight up just leaving my wife alone right there with my son. And then honestly, I got out, did good for a little bit, then started getting high again, and then fucking my wife was pregnant with my daughter, my little baby daughter now. And again, started getting high, and then fucking right before my daughter was born, literally I don't know, bro, like I just couldn't do it no more. I couldn't, bro. I literally sat here at my house in front of my daughter and my wife for like 3 days, bro. I think just straight crying, bro. Just like I was hurting. That's why I was crying, because my mind was so fucked off. I wanted to get high so bad, and like I was telling myself mentally so strong, trying to stay strong, you know. I told myself I need to do it. I need to fucking stop, and I can't. Like I forced myself to stay here in the fucking house for 3 days without trying to go out nowhere, doing nothing, you know, just come in here depressed, whatever. And I would break out crying. And yeah, that's how I was, bro. And luckily, my homie, I had one plant going, but it wasn't good. My homie gave me some seeds and gave me pots, gave me everything so I could start. And so I started growing. And every single fucking day after I started growing and I stopped using, this is the only thing I do. This is the only thing I think about. Instead of having drugs on my mind, instead of having anything about wanting to get high, I could think about drugs. I could think about anything. I could think about fucking needles. I could think about shit that triggers, that trigger people. It doesn't trigger me at all no more, because I got to a point where I just couldn't do it no more, and I felt like I had more important things to do in life, like my kids, my wife, myself. You know what I mean? But I am truly grateful for these plants that I have right here. Because if it wasn't for these plants, honestly, gromies, honestly, homies, anybody watching this, if it wasn't for these plants, I wouldn't have learned patience. I wouldn't have had the chance to learn something special about these plants. I wouldn't have had the chance to honestly probably live life if I wasn't for these plants. Because honestly, I was that close to going back to using. And if it wasn't for these plants that kept me busy every day here, like on the plants, looking at them how I am right now, just taking care of them, just, you know, babying them like the babies they are, I would have been out on the street getting high. I probably would have been dead, in jail, doing fucking 10 years or more for some dumbass shit. So for one, From the bottom of my heart, like I say it every time, I am grateful for these fucking plants. I love them dearly with all my heart, bro. 2, I'm grateful for my wife because she's been here strong by my side no matter what. We have our ups and downs, but no matter what, as much shit talk as we do, we know deep down that we love each other and that we don't need nothing else but each other. And 3 are my kids. My kids are what makes me fucking smile every morning when I wake up. My kids are what makes me sleep peaceful every night before I go to sleep. My wife sleeps next to me, so I see her every day no matter what. My kids don't sleep next to me. So my kids, because we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, my grandmother has her own room. If you know, she's OG. My mom has her own room. She's OG. Me and my wife sleep in the living room on a bed. My daughter sleeps in the crib next to us. My son and my daughter sleep in the room with grandma, with my mom, and then my grandma has her own room, but she sleeps in there by herself. But yeah, so I kind of explained a little bit of how my life is. A little bit about my life for those of you guys that are interested. Like I said, I blog for my gromies, and I blog for people that care to listen to me and people that care to get sober. Hopefully you guys find something to cope with or something that makes you guys happy, because I sure did. And honest to God, I had a few years back, I had a priest tell me that if he was inviting me to go to his church to tell my life story, because he thought it was that my life story was interested. But that was back then. That was like 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. Wasn't that long, but all this like sobriety and figuring out that I got the love for these plants and everything. This is something else, you know. I'm just truly grateful that I'm still alive, that I'm here with my family and my kids, and that I'm able to fucking wake up every morning, take a deep breath, come in here and look at my beautiful kids and look at my beautiful plants. Wake up with my kitty next to me, always purring next to me. I'm just truly grateful for everything, honestly. My life was something else before this, bro. And I'm gonna go back and find a picture of me a few months back when I was strung out. I'm gonna put before and after, watch. And then you guys tell me. Alright? But that's it, you guys. This is like I said, we live in a small ass little apartment. I don't have that much room. This is the only room I got, which is in my bathroom, because my kids don't come in here, but my oldest daughter. And since I have it inside a tent, now I honestly have a little lock for it. It's up there, but I don't want to get up. Yeah, it's a little lock. I'll show you guys next time. But I just put it on there and just close it. You have to twist it and lock the numbers on it. But yeah, I'm the only one that's knows a combination and knows how to get in there. So regardless, none of my kids can go in there, you know. But yeah, that's my life story. Also, the old house I forgot. I don't know why I just thought about it right now. But the old house we used to live at down the street caught on fire when we were younger. So we did go through that struggle too. We went through a lot of struggles in life, honestly. Any struggles anybody would go through. Car troubles, house troubles. Honestly, we went at a moment where we were homeless. We were staying, when I was younger, we literally were staying in the backyard, in my aunt's backyard inside a little shed because we didn't have nowhere to go. The little shed had AC though, but it still wasn't the same, you know, because every time it would rain, every time a drop would hit the fucking shed, that shit would pow, 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 pow. So yeah. But yeah, you guys, that's my life story, a little part of my life story. When I think about it a little bit more, I'll sit down and talk about it a little bit more, but that's a little part of what's part of my passion and my love for these plants and why I do my blogging because honestly, if I can sober up and find my, I have my family and my kids, but I'm talking about my little passion that I love to do. If I can do that, sober up and find my passion and get a job, because I got a job. I'm just trying to get my car fixed now. We got a 2007 Chevy Impala. Transmission went out though, but I got some money saved up right now for that. But on top of that, I'm trying to get that fixed. And then this year, hopefully we're able to move out, and we'll see. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Much love, much respect. You guys have a blessed one. Cheers. Bubba out.